This is where live experiences come to life. From game day to sold out shows, where moments turn into memories and the real stories happen behind the scenes. The people, the access, and the hustle behind it all. This is Take a Savvy Seat. All right, I want to welcome everyone to Take a Savvy Seat. I'm Tommy Gucciardo, your host. This is where sports, business, fans, the hustle that makes it happen, everything behind the scenes, this is where everything takes place. Today, we have a really, really good guest. It goes with what's going on in New York right now, you know, with the Knicks, with the playoffs. I give you Jason Negron. And Jason, why don't you just give us a little bit of background about yourself?
What's going on, everybody? Jason Negron, a.k.a. the mouth of the Mecca. I host for the New York Knicks, New York Rangers, a bunch of Madison Square Garden events. I do Giants. I pretty much done everything in New York. Two-time Pro Bowler, USA Basketball, All-Star, Final Four, SEC Nation as well, amongst other things.
All right.
So
you got a full resume there.
Yeah, Hall of Fame resume. Thankfully,
all right, that's good. There's nothing wrong with a Hall of Fame resume.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
You know, Knicks playoffs, it's exciting every single year. I don't know, this year, if I feel something there, man. I feel a difference. I feel like that energy. Now, you've been regular season, you've been in playoffs in the past. What are you feeling right now?
It's a huge difference between last year when we made the Eastern Conference Finals, and this is just personally. Let me just state, you know, all views expressed are solely of mine and do not represent any organization.
I hear you.
I may be employed by, and that's across the board. The vibes are incredible right now. It's a contrast between you know, the last Eastern Conference Finals where, you know, we come off beating Boston in such an emotional series, down 20 points, multiple games, to really dominating. Outside of those two 1-point losses, we've dominated these playoffs so far. So the team's locked in from what I see, and it's great. The fans are having a blast, and, you know, I'm looking forward to the next round and see who we face.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, like, you know, I listen to Knicks fans, my friends are Knicks fans, and, you know, as soon as they got, you know, a little bit down with Atlanta, we got to go out and get Giannis. We got to do this. We got to do that. You know, but that's like the ebb and flow of like any fan, like especially New York fans. You know, they go through these big emotions. And now it's like, you know, the Knicks are on this great run, which is phenomenal for the city. And, you know, like, talk to me about the watch parties. Do you do any of the watch parties? Is that something that you?
Yeah, I host all the watch parties, Plaza 33, right outside of MSG. I'm thinking that they still stay there the entirety of the Eastern Conference Finals, as opposed to last year where we went to Radio City, Central Park, and a few other locations. And away games, they also have watch parties inside the Garden.
Yeah, I noticed that this year. That was high energy too, man. It's just fun. Like, everything is high energy.
And I think it's a good opportunity for those who, you know, may not have access to tickets. It's $10. You know, all the money goes to the Garden of Dreams Foundation. And it's good. But if not, we're outside, we're rocking. We're rocking unless it's, you know, some crazy rain. We had to cancel one event, I think, in the first round. But it is what it is. And listen, these fans show up early. They're dedicated. I see sometimes the same fans every game up front, ready to rock, bringing the energy. You know, we have people pop up. We have surprises. ESPN will come do pregame, MSG Networks as well. Halftime entertainment. So we're rocking it. We're treating it like a full game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's like, you know, they just come there, they're ready to party, they're ready to have a good time, they're ready to root their team on, man. You know, and that's the thing, man. New York fans are they're the most loyal fans. No matter what happens, you know, we go through our ebbs and flows, but at the end of the day, man, we support. And, you know, in those watch parties, you see that, you know, you see that energy, you know, and you know, I think that's part of New York City, right? Like New York sports.
We're dedicated. We're dedicated fans. I mean, we go through a lot living in New York. It's not easy. That's why, you know, Frankie, he was right. You make it here, you make it anywhere. And that's 100%. True. And that's true because I travel a lot for work. I've been overseas. I travel the entire country. And everything I've learned from not even hosting here, for just being a New Yorker applies. And, you know, you can win. You can succeed anywhere.
So you've been inside, outside, you've been all over the place, you know, covering the Knicks. How does the energy, the energy in the building, as I tell all my friends, like, you know, if you could ever do anything, you know, if you want to go to a Knick game, you go to a Knick playoff game because the energy, you just feel it.
It's special. It's special. I remember one of the first, maybe Brunson's first or second playoff run. That when DiVincenzo beat the Sixers with that 3-point shot. That series was insane. Like, because the Knicks fans were just so pent up, and listen, it hasn't been a successful reign during my tenure there. I've been there 17 seasons. It's usually the Rangers are on top.
Right.
But we've been solid the last 4 seasons, and it's just pandemonium. I can't really explain it. I've rocked every arena you can imagine.
Right.
There's nothing that will ever compare to Madison Square Garden. The history, you can feel it. It's in the aura of the building. It's just magical. So if you get an opportunity, listen, it's the hottest ticket in town. Don't holler at me. Holler at Savvy Seats. And
that's what I like.
Yeah, holler at them. But if you get an opportunity, do it. If you can't, come outside with your boy, Plaza 33.
I was listening to Shaquille O'Neal and Barkley talk about Madison Square Garden, and they were like, they want to see a finals there because they're not traveling with them for I don't think for the Eastern Conference, but they're doing the finals, and they're like, they want to see it because it's just something about it, man. It's just something about it. It's the aura, it's the building, it's the city. We just come to life, man.
It's incredible. I mean, what do you want to go to Cleveland? Like, no disrespect.
No,
no disrespect to Detroit or Cleveland, but I've been there before.
Right.
It's cool. But you're not beating New York City.
There's nothing like being in New York City, man.
And I got a story actually. Shouts to Shaq and Kenny. I hosted the TNT Road Show in Indy. The year the All-Star game was in Indy, and man, we had a blast. So last minute, right before they're ready to intro them, somebody wrote these hilarious intros, and they made me do it. So and the cast had no clue. So I'm talking all this smack about them, and they're dying laughing. And they've always been cool. Shaq has always been cool. Charles, I see him on multiple levels because he's in Auburn. I do SEC Nation. It's a show.
Okay. And Barkley's a big Auburn guy too.
Right? Yeah, he's big out there. He's huge, and plus he even has his spirit. He has, I think, a vodka company, and it's in the airport and everything. So he's there. I see Chuck a lot, and he's hilarious. He's a good sport, and of course, who wouldn't want to watch a finals game at the Garden? Yeah,
we're gonna be there. I feel it in the air this year, man. I feel it's just like it's set up for it. It's perfect,
It is.
You watch the team, and they play like New Yorkers, man. They're gritty. They play hard. They play together, man. It's crazy. It's just it's fun watching them. It really is fun.
Yeah, it's good times right now. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So you're out, and listen, I've seen some TikTok videos and I've seen some Instagram. There's some wild stuff that goes on in the watch. Like, what's the craziest thing you've seen at a watch party?
Oh Lord, I think.
That you're allowed to say.
So a lot of it, don't get to us. A lot of it's manufactured. Some people just trying to ride the wave. I don't like that stuff, Tommy. But I think, man, people just were defacing other, teams' jerseys and stuff.
I don't like that stuff.
I don't like that. Nah,
that doesn't work for me, man.
One time, somebody brought a whole hookah set up. So I was like, how much New York do you get? You bring the hookah to the watch party, but no more hookahs now.
Right. Maybe you got to start selling bacon, egg, and cheeses out there too.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's get some companies to do that. Yeah.
That's really New York, that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. So I guess, we're getting ready for the series. What do you think, I know it's the ticket prices are high, right? And that's not, that's just because it's a tough game. But do you feel like those people that come out there, I don't think they care about being inside. They just want to be part of the environment, right? I don't think everybody's out there saying, oh, I need a ticket to the game. They just want to be part of something.
Absolutely. They just want to feel that energy and vibe. I haven't felt anything like this. Even though I'm a Mets fan, I think when the Yankees won,
bro.
Yeah, it's tough out here. It's a tough one. But when I was a kid, they were nice. Right. But when the Yankees won in '96,
wait, how old are you?
I'm 43. So
I was never nice. Come on.
My dad brought me to '86. I don't remember.
All right, so you had one good year. Okay.
Yeah, we had one good year.
Right. Did you even remember that? Were you
No,
like on
I
his
did.
lap or
I did.
something?
He was probably lying to me, but it was great. It's like, yeah, I tell you, yeah, I was there.
You don't even
86 World
remember you were
Series.
there.
I don't even remember. No, but what I do remember actually being in Shea, and my dad's friend was Doubleday. Doubleday was the owner. It was his right-hand man. So like I would go to all of the private suites and the owner's box and get, old bats and balls and so much stuff, so much memorabilia. That's why I like the Mets. But anyway, I haven't felt this since the Yankees won in '96, like those late '90s vibes. And even that Subway Series when the Yanks got the best of the Mets, like that energy was unmatched. So this is bringing the nostalgia back for me personally.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I feel it. Like I remember, like, the Ewing era. And, I mean, unfortunately, they couldn't get past the Bulls, but, it was just every playoff. It was just, you were biting your nails, you were being involved. And I feel like that. And same thing with the Yankees, right? Like that run, the city came together and the city really came together. Whether you were a Met fan or a Yankee fan, I think like you just felt the energy. You talked about it. You're invited. And I think that's the same thing with the Knicks, going on right now. It doesn't matter if you're a Net fan, if you're a Laker fan, or whatever fan you are. I think, just people, they're embracing this team like as New York, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they've been hot for a long time. There was a debacle in 2019 where, I mean, not really a debacle, where we thought we were going to get a few free agents. They ended up going to Brooklyn. And, we kind of started rebuilding from there. And shouts to the front office and shouts to all of the staff for making it happen. They've been tremendous. And, the team's in a good shape. And hopefully it continues.
Yeah, I mean, I think they made the right decisions. They got a good team. They got a good coach right now. I think everything's going in the right direction. And I think it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a magical year, but we still got a way to go. And I'm not going to jinx it right now, but they're set up for something special this year.
Yeah, one game at a time. That's it. Fans,
I jinxed it already. They're telling me I jinxed it already.
No, one game at a time. I just urge fans to be patient, especially the ones on Twitter and whether they're humans or bots. I don't know.
Right.
However, Tommy, just patience, guys. Listen, I've
and you hit the nail right on the head because I was listening to after they won. The last round they were interviewing Brunson, and every question he answered with one game at a time. One game at a time. We'll take it one game at a time. Who do you want to play? Whoever it is, one game at a time. Yeah. And if you have that kind of knowledge, if you keep that in you and you're playing for the moment, I think anything's possible,
Absolutely. I agree.
So you have all these hats, right? SEC, Rangers, Knicks. Like, how do you have time? And like, what brought you to this? How'd you become an MC? Like, what brought you here?
Well, high school, I was rapping. I was like getting comfortable with rapping, and I was pretty good. So you want
to do something for us right now?
Not right now. It's been a long time. I mean, listen. I still rap I still freestyle to stay sharp, but like I haven't written a song in decades, so I don't really do that anymore.
It's not your thing anymore. All right,
not my thing. But listen, I'm still sharp. Maybe next visit, I'll prepare something.
All right, there you go.
And in college, I went to BMCC because my grades in high school were terrible. So that was the only school. They had in Kingsborough. I didn't want to go to Kingsborough. I was a mission. I take the B1. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I became student government president. So I was, merged public speaking and hosting. I got an opportunity that changed my life. 2005, and I did it again in 2006. I was on an N1 mixtape tour. So if you guys know N1 Basketball, it's an apparel company. They made the DVDs called the mixtapes where people were doing these street moves. And it just changed my life. I got back the second year. I didn't even go back to school. I was done after that. I was supposed to go to Baruch. I missed registration. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out. But it's not easy. It's not easy. Like people will see it, but they don't understand the work. Like they see, oh, you're always at these places. Yeah, I got to go on these flights. And sometimes it's flying the day of, fly out right after. And you're cooked, you're tired. I've missed weddings. I've missed funerals. I don't even get invited out anymore because people always assume I'm working or I'm away. So
sometimes that's a good thing, though.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you filter out, stuff that you don't want. But It's tough. It's difficult, but this is the life I chose. And numerous times I've almost stopped and hung the mic up, but I stuck with it. I have good people in my corner who always, encourage me to stick with it. And I feel like I'm in my prime now. And I have a lot left in the tank. And I'm going to go until the phone stops ringing.
All right, there you go. That's the most important thing. You just keep on going as long as you can, right?
Absolutely.
Until you lose the desire, because that's the most important thing, right?
Exactly. That's what I felt like. At the time, if I lose a step or I don't feel the love for it, then I'm gone.
Yeah, because then it just changes, As long as you have the passion for it, you keep on going forward, and you're building a brand, right? Like it's not like you're independent. It's not like you work for somebody. You work for multiple people, so you have to be active and you have to keep going, and that's a grind. People don't realize that.
It is. It keeps me going, though. It keeps me hungry. If I'm stagnant for too long, I'll lose a lot of momentum.
Right.
But I prefer to just, keep things going, whatever it is. If I got to work a month straight, let's do it. Let's bring it.
Right. And you have to keep up on the trends, right? Because you have to be competitive because there's always somebody out there that's looking to take your spot.
Oh, my goodness. Know how many times I've heard that? Yeah, I'm going to take your job. All right, cool. Good. You join the line.
Right.
Join the line. 17 years I've been at the Garden. I've been doing this 21 years this summer. And, we're still here. We're still rocking. And I don't have to do bozo stuff, which I'm super proud of. I don't have to go online and do all these crazy things I see a lot of my counterparts do, because the talent speaks for itself, Tommy.
Right. Yeah. As long as you have talent, people see through that. And anybody could be a clown or act like a clown. It's like, what are you doing after that? Right. Do you have knowledge? Could you bring the hype, in a normal way? Right.
Right. I mean, and we're from a different era, Tommy, you and I. So it's just like, a lot of these new antics. Like I didn't have a cell phone until college.
Right.
That was my first time I got a phone. But people, they say attention's the new currency. I've had attention my whole life. Like I'm okay. I don't need that. So listen. But anyway, message: chase what you love. Don't chase the trends.
Exactly. So I see that you're working with a lot of different brands and a lot of different people, right? Like, how does the energy shift? Like when you go to the Giants or you do something else, like how do you shift that? Because that's a different mindset almost, right?
It's tough. You just have to kind of read the room. So, energy and vibes are different based on location. In sports, it's tough. I have a lot of my friends who do a lot of music hosting, whether it's concerts, parties, and it's not easy, but it's not as tough as sports, because sports, you got to depend on the team. The team's not doing well. Let's go to the Giants this season. I do pregame. So we got two stages. We got a one inside and one outside. We got DJ appearances. It's good. It's good times. Beginning of the year, so much fun. Last few games when we had that snowstorm, and then the game after, it was dead because the performance of the team wasn't so great and the weather was terrible. But you move into the Knicks, you get something popping. We're in the playoffs. If y'all whoever's watching this, if y'all get to go to an SEC football game, whether it's LSU, Georgia, Florida, you need to go. There's nothing like it, because you go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, you go to Starkville, Mississippi. That's all they have. We have everything in New York.
Right.
I know people who don't even watch sports. You can do whatever you want there. That's all they have. So
and you kind of said something like the Giants, right? And I'm not picking on the Giants, but last year wasn't a great year, and they got a little beat up. They got hurt, and the weather wasn't great, and the schedule wasn't great. It's like you have to bring that energy every single time. I got two questions, right?
Yeah.
Well, one question and one statement. Yeah. And you brought up like the SEC. They don't care. They could be 0-10, and they're showing up the same energy as if they're 10-0.
Absolutely. Because yet again, they don't have all we have. We have sometimes we have too many options. We're spoiled. We are, but
we got too many choices, too many teams.
We have a lot. Yeah, we do have a lot.
So now how do you keep that energy, right? Because that's your job. You have to have that energy no matter if they're losing 50-0 or they're winning, right? Like, how do you come prepared?
You just got to bring it. You got to exert the energy. I leave everything on the court, on the field, or no
matter what's going on,
whatever it is. I have to do my job. And I'll read the room accordingly. Like, you
Right.
know, if it's a deflated moment, we won't go too crazy.
You won't go too crazy.
Right. But you know, we're gonna elevate the energy from where it was. You just gotta read the room. And yet again, this is why rapping helped me so much. Freestyling.
Right. You're able to shift yourself and
exactly.
Yeah.
The intangibles, I don't even think. I just react, and it's 99% of the time it's the right thing.
Right. That's good. I mean, listen, it's all about like instincts, right? Like you create instincts over the years of how things are going to happen, and you got to just flow with them.
Yeah, it's like working with a teammate. Like I work with some DJs for years. So I want to shout out my man DJ Rumor. Shouts to Monopoly, DJ Dan, A Game, all of the guys in the crew. But DJ Rumor and I, we've been rocking 15 years nearly. I don't have to look at him. He knows my points, and like I know where he's gonna put the instrumental in, and it's just we work so seamlessly well together. So you know, get that synergy going and comfortable.
It's also about having a good team around you.
Great team. You have to. You have to. Everything works out with a team. You can't do it together.
Right.
I mean, you can't do it alone. Sorry, you can't do it alone.
I get you. I got what you were saying. I got what you were throwing down. So you do Liberty too, correct?
So I am the first in-arena host in Liberty history. The team was sold to Joe Tsai, and after that, he bought the rest of the Brooklyn Nets in BSC. And I did a few seasons under Brooklyn as well. Unfortunately, you know, that time came to an end. However, this is the 30th anniversary of the New York Liberty and the WNBA.
Wait, it's 30 years this year?
30 years already.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so the great folks at the Liberty organization and decided to bring me and the old mascot Maddie back for select games. Yeah, so they're called Origin Games.
All right.
So yeah, we'll be there a few times a season, and even when I'm not hosting, I'll pull up as a fan. But it was great. We had the home opener this Friday. I had to miss Game 3.
Oh, nice.
But we had the home opener at Barclays, and it was great. It was so good to be back. It was so good to see fans that I haven't in a long time, and the entire organization was great. So honestly, the Liberty has been my favorite thing that I've ever done, just because it felt like family.
Right.
You know, there's been fans that's been there for 30 years, and they continue to show up all the time, and it's rocking now. I'll tell you.
I got to tell you, that's why I was going to ask you, because I see such a difference in the WNBA now, you know, and like that Caitlin Clark and a couple of eras before that, you know, you see a lot of buzz about it. And, you know, you look at arenas now, it's not 1,000 people. They're packed.
It's rocking. I want to say this is the 4th wave of the WNBA. I could be wrong by 1 or 2, but this era is unlike anything I've seen. So when I first started, MSG was under renovation. It was called the Transformation. So for the summers, they were shut down. So the Liberty played at Prudential Center.
Right.
That was my first season with the team. So you know, it's a good arena. Went back to MSG. Everything was great. They decided to put the team up for sale. They moved to the Westchester County Center, where, you know, the Westchester Knicks play. Shouts to the County Center. I love going there. However, it's a huge contrast between the Garden and the County Center. So, you know, team went from being first place for 2 years to kind of not playing up to their standards. But now it's rocking, man. It's unlike anything I've experienced before. Shouts to DJ Rhea and MIL holding it down on the entertainment side, and Ellie. I don't want to say too much, but I've known the person who plays Ellie for years. And that person is such a tremendous talent. And I can't say that person's name because, you know, there's a code within the mascot. You got to keep it on the low.
I got you.
But the person who plays Ellie is such a tremendous talent and has taken the character to the next stratosphere. And they have the Timeless Torches, which are their senior dance group. Everybody there is just so talented and it's great. So anyway, go to a Liberty game this summer. Check them out. We may be there. We may not, but listen, go see them anyway.
So, I mean, you're entrenched in all sports. Do you follow, like, beside your Mets? Sorry that you follow them, but do you follow anybody else? Like, you know, do you follow the NBA? What's going on right now?
You know what? I don't watch when I'm not working. To be honest, it's too much to keep up with. I'll keep up with the leagues, anything that I have to work specifically. I watch NBA more than anything. Otherwise, it's Knicks, Rangers, Giants, Mets. I'll keep a small tab. I'll go to a game here and there. But for the most part, when I'm off, I'm off. I need to kind of debrief from the sports.
Right.
I'm doing music stuff.
Right, I got you.
Yeah, that's kind of like my energy when I'm not working.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I mean, I would think like even when you're there, you're probably not even knowing what's going on half the time, right?
Yeah, because I'm prepping or I'm running around. I also stage manage,
Right.
during when I'm not on the mic. So I'm running around. I'm prepping. I had a discussion with a longtime friend of mine. We were talking about the NBA and. I mentioned I don't really watch. He's like, yo, you work? What do you mean you work there? I said, yeah, but I'm working. Like, so I don't get to watch all the time, but I just like to experience the energy.
No, I hear you. So speaking of energy, right? So when you travel to these other, like, does anybody even come close to any sort of New York sports?
Not really. It like you'll have your little niches. I went to a Seattle Storm game years back. They were very fun and dedicated, because they lost the Sonics, and I think they're on gear to get the Sonics back in the NBA. But they love basketball over there.
Oh yeah, they do over there.
Oh, it's incredible. They love it out there. They're intense. Good fans. Chicago always has good fans. I'm trying to think where else. Indy, surprisingly, even though not a place I like to go or like that franchise much personally. But
me either.
Yeah. We don't like those
Especially
guys.
Reggie Miller.
So funny. I worked with Reggie, that same TNT All-Star I mentioned earlier, and I had to do a Q&A with him. Reggie's a good guy, man.
Listen, he's a great ball player, and he gives good commentary. He's great. But I cannot listen to him when he does a Knicks game.
It's like they always put him on the Knicks games. But
I cannot listen to him.
I posted on Instagram, and fans were cursing me out. You're a traitor. How you take a picture with Reggie? I was like, guys, I have to work. I have to work with other athletes from other teams, and it is what it is. Actually,
that's your job.
It's my job. I did USA Basketball Showcase in Abu Dhabi a few summers ago. They were there right before they went to Paris for the Olympics, and that team. There was everybody, and it was people from the Celtics and Tyrese Halliburton and all of our rivals.
Right.
And they were great. They were all phenomenal. Like always, they came, stopped by, said hi. We didn't see any, superstar stuff. So, they're good guys. Like Jerry Seinfeld said, it's laundry,
Right.
Fighting over laundry. But it's a cool experience.
You know what's kind of funny? That I was thinking about it. You're talking about other athletes and everything. During the Atlanta series, Trae Young wasn't even there. Like he wasn't even there.
Doesn't even live there anymore.
Right. And they were just chanting his name. Like didn't make any sense. But that's Knicks fans for you, right? Like we're a different breed, man.
We're different.
New York people are just different, walk differently.
We are. And for years, and it's finally dying down a little bit. But, when somebody does the whistle at a Rangers game and then they yell Pot Vin sucks. And he played in the 80s. And it's still a tradition that continues. It's like, I think in New York, what's special about us and our fan base is they love you. They love you for life. Like I work with Knicks alumni often, and Larry Johnson's my favorite player of all time. I grew up idolizing him, and now he's like an uncle. He's Uncle Larry.
Right.
But John Starks, I work with him a lot, and I remember people just loved him and continue to love him. And Clyde Frazier and, former Ranger, like that 94 Cup team. Beloved.
Right.
So if they rock with you, they rock with you. However, if they don't, it's bad news for you anytime you step into the city.
No, that's crazy. You're right. You just mentioned some players like Larry Johnson, right? Like, that was your guy, growing up and everything. Yeah. But, like you're around all these people, you mentioned Kenny Anderson, you mentioned, Kenny Smith, you mentioned, Shaquille, you mentioned some big, powerful names, Reggie Miller doing stuff with. Do you ever have like a fan moment? They're like, oh my God, like I'm talking to this person?
I mean, when I first started getting cool with Larry and comfortable with him, that he actually knew me and knew my name, and I told him he's my favorite player. So every time I introduce him, I gotta say my favorite player of all time, Larry.
There you go.
and it's cool. But the only time I really fanned out, I like people don't move me. I see they're cool just like us, and I've been around famous people my whole adult life.
Right.
So I'm very respectful. I let them be, but the person who I kind of spazzed out over was Danny DeVito.
Really?
I saw him at the Rangers game. I grew up off him. I'm like, yo, Danny DeVito, he's the best.
Really? Out of all people, you picked Danny DeVito, huh?
Danny DeVito. Cause like I had Drake just came out with an album. I had Drake busting my chops, calling me French Montana one game, and he took a photo with me, and all the dancers were going crazy. And, just like all these celebs and really high end.
Yeah, I get it.
Ben Stiller gave me the blue steel one time, and that was a cool experience, but I lost my stuff when I met Danny DeVito.
All right.
It was great. I like, I'm different.
All right. Listen, it is what it is, man. You like who you like. You do, whatever rocks your boat.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you have like any like, I mean, I guess, we kind of touched on this, but like, what's like do you have like any like crazy, like, being around all this sports, like something like just crazy, like you're like, holy, I can't believe this just happened.
Man, there's just been so much. I just, all the experiences are crazy to me. And it's just like, I'm blessed to be involved in anything. I hosted the first ever, now NBA Cup, but it was the in-season tournament that the Lakers won. And that was surreal, man. That was just nice to be there. Going back on that USA basketball moment was dope. I have some good Garden moments. I was there when Steph Curry broke the 3-point record. Coach K broke the college win record. Melo 62. That was pretty nice, actually.
Right.
I think I want to go with that one because we love Melo. He didn't always have the best support, unfortunately, but he gave his all every night, and him breaking that record was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was a good team too with him, man. They had a really good team. They just couldn't get anywhere. I feel bad for him.
I know he deserved, but I didn't like the way they let him go. But I didn't like the way his NBA career played.
Yeah,
out.
No, I get it, but it's a business at one point, right? That's the thing. We have to realize it's a business, and sometimes things happen that it sucks. Especially guys that we watch and we idolize and we love. Things happen.
Yeah, and it's not personal. Like I'm sure the way my career may end, whenever that is, may not be the way I want to go out, but it is what it is. And you appreciate those moments that you've had. And
you just got to be ready for it, right?
You got to actually prepare mentally for that.
Right.
Because what are you going to do after?
Yeah, you watch some guys playing sports and they're supposed to be done, right? But they just have the passion for the game and they keep playing, but they're 1 or 2 steps behind where they are and they just can't give it up, right? Like sometimes you just have to know when it's over.
It's hard because also the limelight.
Right.
Also,
yeah, because all that goes away.
It can go away. It can go away for a lot of people. So, hey, anybody out there, and this applies to anybody, celebrity, talent, athlete, actor, musician, if it doesn't, go down the way it once did, you got to just pivot and don't get lost in that, man. Because I've seen people get messed up over it.
No, definitely. While I'm thinking, I didn't even realize that it was WNBA 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
So I was thinking maybe me and you, we do a little giveaway a couple of Liberty tickets. What do you think?
Yeah, we could do that. We can do that.
All right,
that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
We'll set something up. We'll do a giveaway. Me and you. We'll give away some Liberty tickets. Give somebody the opportunity to realize where the NBA came to.
Listen. I tell you this. Like I said, I've been with the organization in 4 different arenas. I haven't seen anything like this. The fans are showing up. The ladies are really showing up, and we appreciate their love and support. And it's a great game.
All right, good. So we'll do that. We'll definitely do that.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. So before we wrap up, why don't you just tell everybody where they can find you, what you're doing, and all that good stuff?
All right, Jason Negron. You see my name. You see my IG. Don't hit me on Twitter because I'm private and I talk a lot of smack there. So that's like the venting page. So I'm not on Twitter.
Okay.
But I'm not a big social media guy either. I don't do all these other things.
You're too busy. That's why.
I'm too busy, and I'm I don't want to do what they do. The Roots said, I learned from them, never do what they do.
Right. Exactly.
But in the interim, we got Liberty coming up, a few games the following week, ready to see what happens tonight. If Cleveland happens to win tonight, game 1 will be at MSG Sunday. We will have the watch party at Plaza 33. If it goes to a game 7, that game 1 becomes Tuesday.
All right.
And hey, wherever. Oh, we got intense tennis coming up in Atlanta. We got some World Cup stuff coming up as well. It's gonna be a hot summer. Get ready.
All right. So you're busy. You're booked out.
We're booked out. I'll take more bookings though.
All right. We'll find you something.
Yeah, we're expensive, but it's worth it.
All right. Perfect.
Tommy.
All right. Well, thank you for coming down. Thank you for your insight about the fans, about what's going on. And once again, this is Take a Savvy Seat. If you like what you heard here, give us a follow at Take a Savvy Seat on Instagram. You could also follow us at Savvy Seats VIP for all your ticketing needs. And we'll see you next week.